Or did you get advice that you didn't take and you wish you would have,
Yeah.
Did you get advice and you took it and you were glad that you did? Or is there something you wish somebody would have told you that nobody ever did that would have been really helpful?
These are very rich questions. Should we talk about love first or money first?
Let's do money. Let's do money first. Because
right.
I think finances is a little easier to talk about.
I grew up kind of with a consciousness that we couldn't get everything that we needed. So I grew up kind of a little poor, lower middle class, but with an upper middle class education. You know what I mean? But I knew that we were, constantly kind of like on the edge and we could not get everything we wanted. So, we had to buy generic brands and things like that, And so,
my family struggled, I think.
That was good for me because I've learned to make do with not a whole lot. I've learned to enjoy and create, meals or whatever with not, with cheap stuff. You know what I mean?
I think that's
so that was a good lesson that I got kind of thank you, Dad, without even really consciously doing that. And Grandma was the main one who did that. Grandma was like, no, there's the cheaper generic brand. We're going to get that. And I was like, oh, okay.
And I hear stories like my sister, when she was a little kid, my mom had just done the grocery shopping and my sister grabbed the gallon of milk when it was still in a glass thing and pulled it off the counter and smashed it. And my mom just sat and cried because there was no money to buy more milk until the next paycheck. So that milk got, so you hear stories like that and you realize there were tight times. And but I also think it helps us be able to really find the pleasure in simple things sometimes. I usually, the fact that I can go to the grocery store and wheel that cart around and pretty much put whatever I want to in that cart, and it's not going to make a giant hardship for me, it means a lot to me. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will never think about that, but at least in that where I am now in my life, I don't have to cry over spilled milk.
Oh, well, you're lucky.
If you broke your milk, you could buy another.
I could buy another.
And I don't splurge. I mean, I'm not going crazy at the grocery store buying filet mignon or anything. But I mean, I can go buy milk and cereal. I can buy some fresh fruit. I can do some things, not the end of the world.
But we also bought used clothes, And I have friends and relatives who would never dream of putting on a pair of pants that somebody else had worn before them.
Oh, I had to.
Really?
I had
I just don't understand that. But I just always bought used stuff.
Yeah, I had a lot of hand-me-downs and thrift store items growing up too. And my mom would put patches on her blue jeans to make them last longer. Yeah. And she made a lot of our clothes when we were really little. And boy, we were just, oh, please don't make our clothes.
I do wish my dad had taught me more about saving.
Yeah.
But he was really bad at that.
Saving.
He was just his own finances were a mess, and throughout his life, and after I left, the house to go to college, his finances became even worse. And so I've recognized that I'm struggling with the legacy of what I learned from my dad's bad financial decisions. You know what I mean? So I've never really learned to save. And I know this sounds weird and I'll stop, but when I read articles, like this recent article came out just a couple days ago, 1 in 3 Americans have no savings for retirement. That makes me feel good. I'm
not alone.
Oh, thank God. Oh, woo. I am, I'm normal.
Yeah.
But I feel better.
Yeah.
When I said a few
So
things
what could he have
aside.
told you? What do you think he could have done, showed you, or told you then that might have made the difference?
It's not telling, it's showing.
Yeah.
It's showing. If he would have had me save up out of every little thing from my allowance and do a fund so that I kind of see over the course of 6 months or a year what setting a little bit aside every day does, or every week or whatever.
Just take it out of your paycheck right at the beginning. It's like take it, give yourself a little.
I went to Europe with some friends, and if my friend Steph hadn't been calling me every week,
did you put your money away?
Something from your paycheck, even just $10.
Yeah.
And after 8 months, we had enough money to have a really fabulous 2-week vacation in Europe, But it was only because she kept bugging me every week. To buy with a phone call and be like, and I put aside $10, $20, whatever.
Our parents explained to us how credit cards work when we were little kids.
Oh, you were lucky.
Every parent should do that. Do that for your children. Show what interest accrues and how mathematically that works.
Yeah.
And how dangerous that is and what a different percentage rate equals.
Schools should teach that crap.
I think they should teach you how to keep a savings account and how credit cards work.
Yeah.
That was a huge deal. That was a service that they definitely provided for me that made a big,
helping
made
kids
a big difference.
understand interest.
Yeah. And
On your
I got a
debts.
credit card when I was 16. It was low. It was a low threshold of whatever the amount you could
Limit.
spend. But they let me have it, and I used it for my gasoline and some other things, and I always just paid it off at the end of each month, and I was able to build my credit because of that credit card.
Yeah.
So when it came time that I wanted to buy a car later, then I had some established credit. That was the other thing, not just a credit card, but how does credit itself work? Because if you don't even have a credit card, then you don't have credit. And if you don't have any kind of credit, the first time you want to borrow for something, a car, a house, whatever,
They're like,
they're
"Who are
like,
you?
yeah,
we don't have any record of you
how,
borrowing."
that prove to somebody that
Yeah.
you can manage your money,
Yeah.
even if it's $500, but you could manage it over a period of a couple years.
Schools
So,
should teach this stuff.
Yeah.
There should be courses.
yeah, and a
on
math. It seems
how
like
to
that
use
could
a
be
credit card.
easily done in a math class. You'd
Yeah.
think that would be good.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
All right.
Love.
Okay, so love and relationships.
What's the advice that you wish you would have gotten when you were young about love and relationships?
I think the biggest thing.
And recognize your girlfriend's going to watch this.
No, I think the thing that, and I think well,
So
her and I
what can you say with your girlfriend watching?
we actually talked about this. Her and I did before a couple days ago, and I said I think the thing that was the most devastating that I wish somebody would have told me is not everything relationship-wise is like your family's relationships.
Oh.
Like you see how people
Wow,
treat
that's
each
good
other.
advice. That's really, yeah.
And
Because that's our template.
Yes,
That's what we
and
learn.
we don't know our paradigm for how the world
Relationships,
is. And then you go out and you meet another person who was raised in a whole completely different family that operated, and you try to, pound your way in of like, you should do this and you should be able to forgive me for acting this way or what, I don't even know. So that, I think
or this is just the way we talk. We yell at each other at the dinner table in my family.
And then you get over it afterwards and it's
That's
fine.
right. It's no big deal. Yeah.
Don't you know?
But actually, no, it is a big deal, and that's not normal, and perhaps
and not all families are like that.
respect each other a little bit more consciously.
Yeah, and I think my first real relationship in my mid-20s, it was ruined because of that. Because I didn't know what to expect. I think
that's interesting. For me, the main thing is just kill those little fear demons. Those little fear demons that make you think that you're inadequate or just horrible or not worthy of this relationship, and just the constant where you're like, oh, did I just do something that offended the person? Those little fear demons that's the worst.
Sabotaging our relationship.
Self-sabotaging stuff. Yeah, and I wish that somebody would have said, oh yeah, that whole voice that you have in your head that says you're awful and worthless and stupid and ridiculous and I can't believe you did that, that voice, you should take it out back and shoot it behind the barn. Not yourself.
Yeah,
just that internalized awful. For me, it's my dad's voice, you're terrible, you're worthless, blah, 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 blah. Just take that voice out back behind the barn and shoot that voice and then live your life.
You were good enough.
Yeah, you are good enough. And damn it, people like me.
Yes, it's true. It is.
It's so funny because it's
as hokey as it is, it can be the truth.
But those little, not trusting those knee-jerk, nervous reactions.
There's that weird balance of like,
especially in new relationships.
Who's going to say that, to say that you love somebody? That can be such. You could be with somebody for a pretty long period of time and nobody has said it, and it builds up this thing. I found that after a while, you know what? Not saying it doesn't make it not true. If you do actually love somebody, I just banged my microphone. But if you love somebody, and you don't say it or you do say it, nothing really changes. So if you're willing to try to keep that relationship going, and if you say I love you is going to end the relationship, well, I think that relationship probably should go ahead and end. If you can't tell them that you love them
when you do.
You do in a reasonable amount of time, not the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But
not the first day. What's the lesbian joke?
What does a lesbian bring on a second date?
A movie.
The U-Haul.
The U-Haul. Yeah. But that's good. That's good advice. That's really good advice.
So those are I think we did pretty good coming off the cuff here.
Off the cuff.
So the idea is hopefully
we
can have some other friends come on and kind of go through some of these same questions and see if anybody else has some other good advice that they either got and took or didn't get or didn't take in general. So that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Carol.
All right, we'll see how this goes. I'll edit it up.
All right.